The tools you're going to need to perform this job are this is a 1/4 inch ratchet with an extension and a 10 millimeter nut. I like the smaller wrench for tightening the retaining bolts, just so that I won't over torque it. You're going to want a 3/8 ratchet with a 5/8 spark plug socket on it, preferably one with the rubber grommet on. You're going to want a spark plug gapper. I like to use some anti-seize lubricant on the threads when I put the new ones back in. Also like to put a little dielectric grease inside the boot. This is optional. Nut driver or impact gun, screw gun, to remove the retaining bolts and remove the spark plugs. I will not reinstall either under power. I'll use hand tools to make sure that I don't over torque anything. According to the shop manual, the 300 horsepower 4.2 liter, the spark plug gap is between 39 and 43 thousandths of an inch. For all you guys with the other motor variants, 225s, 250s, it's the same thing, 39 to 43 thousandths. So I'm going to be using the NGK LFR 6A11, and obviously for 2 motors I'm going to need 12 of them. I've gotten lucky and found these 4-packs, and if you do some shopping you can get them at a pretty decent price. So these come with a nice protective cover so they don't get smushed in transit. I'm going to look at my gauge here, find something in between 39 and 43 thousandths. 40 looks good. And let's see if I can make sure you could see this. I'm going to come in from the side straight. Depending on what kind of gauge you have, like this one I could probably come in a little, no I can't. If I went in crooked like this, it would be in the radius of the feeler gauge, and it would bend it to a, it would adjust it far out of the range that we're looking for. So I'm coming in straight from the side. It's 40 thousandths. I have a little bit of resistance, which is what I'm looking for. It's not sloppy. Here, I'll get something real small. You can see here, this is pretty sloppy. That's not what we're looking for. If it was sloppy like that, we would take the adjuster on the end here, and we would bend this in, and then go back to the proper gauge and get a remeasure. All right, so that's good. Okay, spark plug day. Already got the engine cowl off. You'll see we have little arrows here that indicate you want to slide this cover up, and you got these little forks that go over some rubber bungs, and this one is the same. Slide it up, comes right off. Set that aside. All right, you'll see your 6 coil packs. Your spark plugs are underneath these. There's a retaining bolt on each one of these, and you'll need a 10 millimeter socket to take them off. Okay, these coil packs are all attached with wire ties to the valve covers. So if you take one off, it's not going to go very far. So there's very little chance of you mistakenly putting them in the wrong spot. So you can actually go right ahead and take them all out. And here I have a 5/8 spark plug socket with an extension. And when you take your plugs out, you're looking for a tan electrode there. I got some carbon around the rim, but the anode or the electrode itself looks pretty good. Put these back in. I'm going to use a little of this anti-seize lubricant. If you haven't used this in a while, you may need a little stir. Now, I'm not trying to put a bunch of it into the cylinder itself, so I'm just going to put a little bit midway up on the thread. And if you look at one of the old ones, you could see which portion of the threads go into the cylinder itself. So I kind of want to stay away from those top like 4 or 5 threads. There, that's all I'm really looking for. Don't recommend using a screw gun or impact on these. You want to feel the crush washer, and it's a little bit more than a half a turn. So if you see here, I'm going to go just a little bit more, a little bit over a half turn. Let's see if I can show you the crush washer up close. So here's one that's already been smashed, and here's the new one. And you could see it's about half of the thickness. That shows up. It's about half the thickness once it gets crushed. I like to put a little dab of dielectric grease in the end of the boot. That's all I'm looking for. A little dab like that. Put these on, give it a little twist, and line up where the retaining bolt's gonna go. Last thing to do is tighten these keeper bolts up. goes on the same way it came off. Here's a close-up of little rubber grommets that we're trying to get it on top of. Okay, put the engine cowl on and you're in business, ready to roll. Thanks for watching.